CTV Community Television presents The Focus Program, hosted by Paul Dingeman.
Welcome to another edition of the Focus Program. My name is Paul Dingeman. I welcome you to this program. We've got a great lineup of guests, beginning with Sheri Faust from the St. Clair Health Department.
That's right.
You're here to talk to us about the Sturgeon Festival. What's going on?
That's coming up the last Saturday in May 30th. And I don't know if you've ever seen sturgeon before, but we're giving people the opportunity to see sturgeon up close.
Why are we interested in St. Clair County about sturgeon?
They're a threatened species, and they're the only species that lives in the Great Lakes, and they are the Great Lakes' largest fish. They're really cool. They grow up to be 6 feet long,
no kidding,
120 pounds.
Oh! And
we have the largest population right here underneath the Blue Water bridges.
And
they're very rare to see because they are threatened. And so with the Sturgeon Festival, we give people up close, chance, personal, touch them, hold them, see them.
We got a picture we're going to show on the air here of the sturgeon. A friend of yours took underneath the Blue Water Bridge. And is that their spawning area too? That
is their spawning area. So we hold the Sturgeon Festival every year at the end of May when they migrate to this area.
There we go. Look at the size of those fish.
They're gentle. We call them the gentle giants of the lakes because they are gentle and harmless. But they're big and they're bottom feeders.
Now that one's got a tag on it.
Right. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the Michigan DNR are tracking them and tagging them to understand more about them because we don't know much about them. We want to grow their population to higher numbers.
There's only a couple spawning areas around the Great Lakes, isn't there? One is
this is the largest. On the Blue Water Bridges, Algonac has a pretty large population also. And you just don't get the chance to see them much. So we have the Huron lady does some sturgeon cruises. We have a diver in the river with a video camera, and he's got a live video feed up to flat screen TVs on deck on the Huron lady, so you can see the bottom of the river during that hour-and-a-half cruise. And we also have a live touch tank on shore where people can see and touch a sturgeon.
They can touch a sturgeon?
Mm-hmm. Up close and personal. So it's a pretty unique opportunity.
Why would the St. Clair County Health Department be interested in sturgeon and Sturgeon Festival?
We're interested in the health of the river.
Okay.
And the health of the river is very important for the health of our community. And sturgeon we use as a spotlight species because they've been around for so long. They're really an indicator of the health of the river. And when their numbers were declining and decreasing, we kind of use it as a gauge for water quality. But now their numbers are increasing and they're doing better and their health is doing better. We can use that as a gauge for the health of the river is also doing better. And so when people come to the Sturgeon Festival, they're not only learning about sturgeon, but they're learning about the entire St. Clair River and the health of all the ecosystem that takes part in the river. So we have lots of fun things, stickers and buttons. In fact, we get
stickers and buttons.
We get kids involved, fifth graders involved. They have to create a sturgeon poster, and that gets them a free trip on a sturgeon cruise.
Ooh.
And then we've turned their artwork into buttons.
Wow, the kids got to really enjoy that. How can people help or how can they be involved? Just go on the cruise?
We want people to come. Saturday, May 30th, it's at the Vantage Point Maritime Center, downtown Port Huron on the shores of the St. Clair River. There's lots of activities going on. We have the sturgeon cruise, but we have lots of vendors and kids activities, workshops going on. All the scientists involved in the latest fishing and sturgeon science are all there to interact with and talk with. We actually have a Run with the Sturgeon 5K race.
A 5K race?
Yep, Run with the Sturgeon. We actually have a sturgeon mascot, so our sturgeon will be running. So you can run with the sturgeon for our 5K. And just lots of exhibits. It's just a great, fun event.
Good. And this is the third or fourth, I believe?
This is our third year.
Third year. And
it's a free event. Completely free.
That's a big word.
Admission.
That's a big, huge word.
Free admission, free parking, free activities. Come out from 10 to 4.
And great for kids and families.
Great for kids and families. And there's lots of other native fish that will be in tanks too, so you can learn about all native species that live in the river and get a chance to see them.
Great. You're going to be back with us later this month in the beginning of June to talk about another project of yours, which is called River Day.
That's right.
Want to preview any of that?
River Day is Saturday, June 13th. That's free fishing weekend in the state of Michigan. So we have free fishing events going on all across the county that day.
You got a fun job, don't you?
So anything to do with water.
That's a very important job.
That's right.
People in California would love a little bit of that water.
I know, and here we are. Look at all the water that we have. So, yeah, we're celebrating it.
Right. Sheri Faust, thank you very much for coming in.
All right, thanks.
Did we miss anything?
I could give the website.
Let's do that.
SturgeonFestival.com.
Okay. And what am I going to find on that website?
All the event details, the times of the workshops, all the listed activities, directions. You can sign up for the race on our website there. And we also have some fun sturgeon facts. You can learn a bit more about sturgeon.
Okay. Is it an edible product, sturgeon?
Not in the United States.
Really?
Right. Just in Canada. So there is a small window that you can fish for sturgeon here in Michigan, but because they are a threatened species, it's a very limited fishing window, and no, you can't eat
Have
them.
you talked to anybody that has eaten sturgeon? Is it a delectable fish?
No, that's what caviar is, actually.
Okay.
But no, I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know.
Well, we'll go drive over to Canada and have some sturgeon.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming in. That's the thing you got to take down, May 16th.
This is May 30th.
May 30th. I'm really messed up today. And we'll be back with our next guest in just a second. Joining us now is Executive Director of St. Clair County Community Mental Health, Deb Johnson. Nice to see you, Deb. Welcome back to the Focus Show.
Thank you, Paul. Good
You've
to be here.
had a busy time. I know you had a party the other night awarding some awards to people that have helped you through the year, and you've had some other things going on, and we better catch up and see what's happening at a wonderful agency in St. Clair County.
All right. Well, if you want me to start with we had our annual awards recognition night this past Tuesday night, and we provided awards to a lot of different people, including our staff awards and things like that. But our big award recipients were Beth LeBlanc from the Times-Herald won our media award, of which, of course, we all know you were a past recipient.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job. And also Mary Young, she's been a specialized foster care provider for over 30 years, and she's retiring, but she's just done an amazing job. And not only in her role as a foster care provider, but she also was a huge advocate, well, and she still is a huge advocate for people with disabilities, especially related to transportation. Her and I went to a lot of Marysville City Council meetings and others trying to, expand the hours back to what they used to be. And
right,
she's a great lady. So even though she's retiring as a foster care provider, she said she's going to continue to help advocate with me for things.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, so that's great. And then also we gave our organizational award to Mid-City Nutrition, which is run, of course, by Alice Reeves. That program, which just provides an enormous amount of food and support to our community, is run by one full-time person, Alice Reeves, and 7 part-time staff. And I think last year,
staggering the amount of meals that they put out.
Over 30, this isn't the number of meals, but over 35,000 people received meals from there during the year. Yep. And it was, I can't remember the pounds of food. I had it written before, but anyways, it's an enormous amount of food through the food trucks and then through the coming to the soup kitchen to eat. So yeah, so those were, and then also our staff of the year was Mark Duncan. He's worked for us for over 25 years. He's just done an amazing job, and that was very touching. And he was very touched and flattered to receive that award. And then our team, we had a team that we award Team of the Month, but this. They were the Team of the Year because they've done a lot of fundraising. When Mike McCartan and I go on the roof for Child Abuse and Neglect Council against Sheriff Donilon and Prosecutor Wendling, they raise money for our side.
Oh,
and, so
you want to award them?
I sure do. But they do stuff every year. They've raised thousands of dollars for the St. Clair County Child Abuse and Neglect Council, which of course is a very worthy cause and another cause near and dear to my heart. I'm on that board. Yeah. But anyway, so those were our big award winners that night. It was a great night. We hold it
up here.
Yeah, we have our annual report. It was actually in the Times-Herald insert this past Saturday, but we have copies available if anybody would like to come to CMH. We'd be happy to give them out. And we also that night we had a lot of middle school and high school winners for art and
Oh, yes.
yeah, for art and for writing. That booklet contains the pictures of the artwork and then the writing of all the contest winners.
Then this artwork, I think, appears on billboards, doesn't it?
Yeah, it should be out. I didn't notice it yet, but it's supposed to be out any time now. It's actually this is the poster, and you have some posters that I brought you. But that's the artwork, and our theme this year was positive relationships promote recovery, and so that was the theme of the night too. When we talked about all the wonderful relationships we have with other organizations, and even the relationships that people have with each other, which helps promote their own recovery. So it was really overall a great night.
May is famous for being Mental Health Month, right?
That is correct. So that's why I have the green ribbon on, and I've given you one.
I'm going to put it on.
They are for sale for $1 at Community Mental Health. It's inexpensive. The money is going to go into our Children's Lifeline Fund. It's a fund that we use to fund things for children that aren't covered otherwise. It's just to bring awareness to Mental Health Month, and Children's Mental Health Awareness Month is also the same month because May is the month of the child. So, and some people said, why is it green? And green signifies new life, new growth, new beginnings. So that's why we have. It
wasn't for Mr. McCartan.
Right, it wasn't for Mr. McCartan and his Irish heritage. But anyways, so May is Mental Health Month, and we have several goals. One of them is to build public recognition about mental health and what we do. We also want to increase education related to healthcare integration. That's been a huge push, and it only makes sense that you need to take care of a person's body and their mind so that they can be fully in recovery. It's a fact that people with severe mental illness die on average 20, 25 years earlier than people without. And it's not because of their mental illness, it's because of their primary health care issues and maybe not seeking the care that they need. So I guess on that note, I would also like to mention that the People's Clinic for Better Health Care moved into our building on 3111 Electric Avenue this past week, open for business. So that is a primary health care clinic. Currently, it's still for people who are uninsured, but the hope is they're working to be able to use Medicaid funds. So that's what the goal is there. So that is a huge step forward in healthcare integration for us. The other, I guess, goals are to continue to address the stigma associated with mental health issues, because there's still, as much work as we've done, there's still a lot of stigma associated with having a mental health issue. In fact, although there's like 1 in 5 people that have some kind of a mental illness, only about 41% seek treatment. And a lot of the reason is because of the stigma.
You've got really a very full plate full, but you've got some stuff coming up later in the month too.
We do. Mental Health First Aid Week is coming up. May 17th to the 23rd, and Mental Health First Aid is it's a national program, and the purpose is it's kind of like CPR for physical emergency kinds of things, but it's for mental health emergencies, and it's to help the general public recognize or identify signs, symptoms of mental health issues, and hopefully connect the person with appropriate care, or even to get an assessment, or to get them started in the care that they need, and to catch things before it gets so far. And not that you still can't come in for treatment, because you can, we want you to, but if you can catch things a lot earlier, especially in children, it makes a huge difference. So we are providing, we've trained actually over 400 people now in our community. We do it free of charge. It's an 8-hour training. Usually we do it over 2 days, but in May, we have a training on May 19th, which is for adult mental health first aid, 8:30 to 5 at CMH, free to the public. And on the 21st, it's the children's mental health first aid, and that's 8:30 to 5. Again, it's free. They just have to call. Yep, that's it. Say the date. Call St. Clair County CMH 985-8900 to register. And what else is coming up? I think
that's about it.
Yeah, I think that's about
at the market this coming week, Chef Jim's going to be there with some of his staff from the galley, and they'll be cooking with Kristen Bain from the Schoolhouse Grill, and that'll be on the air next weekend.
Oh, I think I have to go to that.
You think you got to come to that?
The Schoolhouse, they have awesome food, and so does our galley. And they really, promote healthy eating, and they make a lot of really interesting things and good things.
Here's some good. Let's go back. That's your awards dinner the other night.
Oh yeah.
And then the next shot there is, let me see the name, that's a walk. What was that now?
That was just yesterday, May 6th, Walk in My Shoes rally. That's a great event in Lansing. And the purpose is people come and represent every county in the state of Michigan. Every county selects a spokesperson who has a mental illness or developmental disability, and they each individually go up on the Capitol steps, holding the county flag, and say something about what it's like to be them, and then they kind of end their statement with "Walk a mile in my shoes." And the purpose is to increase awareness about mental health issues, especially for our legislature, and advocate for funding, things like that. It's a great event too. And yesterday, of course, I missed it. It was a great day. Every year I go. I've been there every year so far, but because of my little leg situation, I wasn't there. But it's a great event. So.
You enjoy your job, don't you?
I sure do. I love it.
Deb Johnson, the Executive Director of St. Clair County Community Mental Health. We're glad you're in that position. You do a phenomenal job for our community, and we'll keep you coming back and keep us informed of what your great department does.
I would love to be back. Thank you.
We'll be back with our next guest in just a second. Welcome back. We've got Marcella here, Marcella Costin, from that wonderful store in downtown St. Clair called Simply Marcella. Nice to see you. Welcome back to the Focus Set.
Thank you.
It's been a while.
Nice to
You've been a busy person for the last couple of years.
Yes.
Stores have been expanding. You now have a location in Lake Orion.
We do.
Nice store there, very good location. Business is good. But you had a personal experience over the last couple of years, maybe longer than that, with John, who's with you, your husband. Tell us about it.
Well, actually, it's been about 16 months ago.
16
we
months,
were
okay.
just going along life as normal after moving back from Helsinki, Finland, and we thought we were back to reality, and we both had our regular checkups. And during our regular physical checkup, they found that John's blood count was a little obscured, so they recommended he take a vitamin B and come back and be retested within a couple weeks. And they did, and that's when things were even worse that fast. And they determined, after lots of tests, that he had leukemia. And that pretty much rocked our world.
Correct.
And they told us, so this was about 16 months ago, that there was no cure for John, and that they would try to keep him comfortable for 2 years. And that's when we immediately called our friend, Dr. Jennifer Rise, and we said, can you please come and help us understand what's happening to us?
The word no was never in John's vocabulary.
No, he doesn't know that word.
After many, many years of successful business with General Motors Corporation and with the other conglomerate called Simply Marcella's, he doesn't know that word. So he took the bull by the horns.
That's right. So within, after Jenny's guidance, after a few days, we left for Boston to go to a place, Dana-Farber, who specializes in stem cell transplant, which we didn't know anything about any of this at that time. And when we arrived there, they talked to us, they interviewed us, and they led us to believe with some hope that John could possibly be cured. And so here we are.
It's amazing, and you obviously are.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a terrible piece of news when it happened.
Oh, absolutely.
Terrible, but yes, Dana-Farber, wonderful hospital, some chemo to get rid of the bad cells, and then, of course, the big day came on April the 3rd, 2014, when I had a stem cell transplant from a 23-year-old German. Bless him. Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And the only reason he went and gave actually, had a swab to actually check if he could become a donor. The only reason he did it was because his other university students said, you get a free lunch if you do it. So he went along and did it.
Incentives.
Yeah.
They've always worked.
And that's my year, actually, since the stem cell transplant was actually on April the 3rd, so last month. And I feel great.
And for a while there, when you first came back from Boston, you couldn't be around people either, could you?
No, until April of this year. I haven't been in a building, a restaurant.
Grocery store.
Grocery store, yeah. So for 1 year, we lived in a bit of a bubble to make sure I didn't, because your immune system is compromised, and you're like a little baby, and you can catch everything. So I had to stay away from germ transmitters as much as I could.
Amazing, amazing story. You have, with the good doctor, a project coming up to alert people to be involved in stem cell
Donor
research.
registry.
Yeah.
Right.
Talk to me about it.
And well, like I said, Dr. Jennifer Rise, she is the one who really helped us understand that it can cure. And I remember saying to Jenny, my friend, is there a chance? Is there any hope? And she said it could possibly be a cure. And if it's okay, I'd like Jenny to explain the stem cell transplant process, or the gathering of the cells, Jenny, if you could.
And some leukemias can be cured just with chemotherapy, but oftentimes the kind of leukemia that John had can't be really cured. It can only be controlled for a short time. So really the only thing that can cure it is to give him a whole new cell lineage in his body. And the key to that is, one, finding a place, in John's case, that was willing to take him when he's a little bit older than most folk that would go through this. And that's where the hard part was finding a place that would take someone his age and look at him. And then the important thing that we're doing here is trying to expand the stem cell registry, because John was lucky, and then he got someone who was almost, what did they say, a perfect match.
Yes, yes.
And how lucky he was to get that, because so many people don't have the perfect match. They don't have the offer of a stem cell, or what they get isn't a good match. So what we're trying to do here is just expand the registry so that anybody who comes in will hopefully have a much better chance at being offered a cure, like John has been offered.
So you find the candidate, then what happens?
Well, basically, it's
what happened to
finding
that fellow
the-
from Germany? What
Right.
was the
Well,
next
he has
step?
to go through protocol. Do you know the protocol? I mean, to explain it.
Basically, they wish people to be 18 to 44 years old, because those are the stem cells that transfer the best with the most success.
Okay.
And they remain in the registry that long. And then once you are matched, hopefully they can just do it with a blood transfer. John's
okay.
blood, he didn't have to.
Simple blood transfer.
Simple blood, so he donated
Super.
some blood, they spun down his stem cells and transferred them to John.
So what we're looking for is people 18 to 44 to register. That's all we want to do with this project.
Yes, it's very
Kim?
easy, actually. I just kind of want to show you how easy it is.
Okay.
This is the swab kit. So if the people come in to our event, which I'll talk about, which is actually going to be a fun event, you get the Q-tips, you get 4 Q-tips, and you swab the upper part of your mouth, the lower part, both sides, and we put those in an envelope and we send them off. And regularly it's $100 to be added to the registry, but because we're hosting this event and so many people have generously donated, we are covering the cost of those swabs being
Beautiful.
done. So anybody between the ages of 18 and 44, we will love to have you, and we will cover that cost, and you can help save a life.
Oh my God.
We're targeting actually 200 donors.
Yes.
200 donors,
During the
and you'd
event.
love it. Is a 60-year-old person not to come, or is it only 18
Well,
to
there's
44?
other things for them to do, but also they can join the registry, but be the match, they have to pay for it on their own at that point.
Okay,
Because
but
some
the
people
18 to
will use a
44s.
60-year-old, yes. But the 18 to 44-year-old, through this event, we will cover that registration fee.
If the fellows in the control room will throw up that first slide, which is about a fire engine. You talk to me about how you're getting a fire engine involved with. What's this all about?
Well, we needed something fun to create this event, and we wanted to make it a big community project. So one of my young employees, she's one of my managing directors, she came up with this fire truck pull event, Riley Yakum, and she thought it'd be a great way to get the young, buff people out there playing. And you don't have to be 18 to 44 to pull it, but on June 6th, on Vine Street, it's going to be closed off, and the St. Clair Fire Authority, they're going to have a truck there. We're going to have teams of 12, well, 10 to 12, but we're hoping for 12. And it's a $120 donation per team. And we want them there's going to be different categories for prizes to pull the fire truck. And we're going to have a big tent, and we're going to have beer and brats, or not beer, root beer and brats, sorry. Ian Smith is going to be playing music. We're going to have face painting. We're going to have a blow-up obstacle course. And all of this is in hopes that it generates a good community involvement, and we get those people there to get on the donor registry list.
Okay. That's the key.
That
Get them
is the
involved.
key, yes.
And then you said you've got some stickers that are being used around in the different community stores. What's that?
Yeah, we have 28 businesses helping us right now, and we're thrilled about it. This is the pinup program. So if you're in Neiman's, who's donating the brats for this event, for example, then we would like you to donate $1 if you could, put your name on it, put it on the wall, because as you know, every donor is $100. So for every $100 we collect, it helps us at the registry.
Good.
So, and if you want to, if you're brave, we have fire truck pole sign-ups. So if you can get your teams of 12, for example, I'd like to say like the River Crab, they're already sponsored a pole team.
Oh, wonderful.
So there's lots of nice businesses trying to put together
Bill
their
McDonald's
teams.
got a team.
Yeah, Bill McDonald Ford's putting a team together. So I'd love to see our community, like, bring them out there, let your business be represented in a great way, and it's a wonderful way to support the community, and who knows, it might support somebody in your own life. And I think an important thing to say is 70% of the people in your own family will not be a match for you if you need a stem cell transplant. And it's
John, we're glad you're back. We've got a lot of work for you to do in St. Clair.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, obviously what we're trying to do here is actually save a life in the future. That's how I am.
That's the bottom line. Yeah.
And I would especially ask any minority person to come in, because they need the most registrants for them. They're the least represented.
So these registries, when we get the people registered, where will they be housed? Where will they be saved?
That's
At
Be the
McLaren
Match.
or?
No, this will be at Be the Match. That's the group that is processing all of those, and from anywhere in the world, that's the group that's contacted to see if their patient is the match.
all the financial donations that are made for us through our Be the Match team page, that money stays in Michigan.
Okay.
The stem cell registry is national, international, but the money that we raise will stay only in Michigan. Okay. And speaking of raising money, this is, I just wanted to point these out. These are bracelets I designed for this event. As you can see, they coordinate with the colors. Yep. And there's a multitude of silver beads. That represents all the people that don't match you.
Oh, beautiful.
And then I made the two little pearls because you need to find your perfect match.
Great idea. Great design. Great design.
And it knows,
you should go into design work.
I'll see what I can do. But it is, I mean, we all have causes that we're passionate about, but as you can tell,
I think that's
this is amazing.
That's your passion right there.
It's my passion, and we're very blessed, and I want to be able to help somebody else should they need the help as well.
Right.
Marcella, thanks again. John,
Thank
wonderful to see
Thank you so much.
Doctor, nice to meet you again. I think we've met in a different life. Maybe I was on a table someplace.
It was at our grand opening.
Probably was. Coming up next, we've got some scoundrels coming into the studio, and they're going to talk about something that's going on at the Snug Theater. Better stay tuned. School for Scoundrels. Kathy Burton, what's going on?
Hello, good to see you, Paul.
Nice to see you.
It's actually School for Scandal.
School for Scandal.
But
I
they
was
are
wrong.
they are scoundrels.
The whole day has been that way.
They are scoundrels.
I know that. I thought that. I thought that.
And it's opening up this weekend, just in time for Mother's Day. Everybody get your mother out to the theater.
And
we're taking a little step back in time. We're going back to 1777. And I brought some people from 1777.
well, this is an amazing arrival. We've never had anybody here from 1777, and we have Lady Cernwell.
Sneerwell, my dear.
Sneer, like in sneering.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. You get it
And
right.
Sir Joseph Surface.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. Well, talk to me about your relationship and what this play is about.
Well, we are all wonderful at gossiping, aren't we?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, and I am the matriarch, really, of the whole piece. And Mr. Surface here is inclined to help me with some of my schemes.
When it suits my fancy.
Oh, my God. When is it your fancy, then?
When it suits me best.
Oh, okay, okay.
He is good at a little roguery, aren't you,
Oh,
Mr.
yes,
Surface?
Are you two
Yes.
good at spreading rumors?
Oh, at spreading rumours, well, I wouldn't go that far. It's a very delicate situation, isn't it, Mr. Surface?
Yes, of course
Yes,
it
of course,
is.
we do it always in a very proper manner if we do say things about other people.
And this era, 1770, it's a fun era for you guys?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, I would think so.
Oh, my goodness. Lots of tea parties and soirees. We love to get together and chat over a cup of tea.
Yes, sitting down to cards, having a cup of tea is quite nice.
Yes.
Now, you're going to be visiting the Snug and Theater in Marine City. And talk to me about what goes on when people come to see you.
Oh, well, there are a lot of wonderful characters to meet in our
how
play.
many characters?
Oh, my goodness, there's quite a few, isn't there?
14 or so.
I think
Wow.
so. It's rather a large number of
Yes.
people we have, yes. And in these rather large dresses, too, it can be quite snug at the snug.
Oh, I imagine it will be. And that's a good line. You should use that in the play.
Oh, thank you, sir, yes.
So the play will be running what evenings?
It's our usual Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday matinee. So it opens this Friday, May 8th, and it's going to run through the 24th. Our shows are at 7:30 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then we go to Sundays 3 o'clock matinees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coming up after this, you have...
We have something in between our productions.
Okay.
Next Tuesday, May 12th, we have the DSO at the Riverbank.
And there's
So
still
we're-
some tickets available?
Oh, yes, there are,
Okay.
and we would love to get people out to see that. It's nice. The Marine City Music Festival is partnering with us on this, and they have a relationship with the DSO, so they're bringing them in. You would approve.
Absolutely.
It would be appropriate.
Yes,
It'd be quite an evening.
We were before we started. You and I were talking about the fact that people think it's going to be very highbrow, but you said
It's
their
not.
repertoire is something different.
It is. It's a bassoon quartet, and they're doing everything from the Beatles, Elvis. I mean, it's really a more lighthearted. It's not.
Well, that
Maybe you wouldn't approve.
I'm not familiar with their work.
I'm not.
And then we're in rehearsal right now for Cabaret.
right. That was the
So,
next
and you
one.
definitely wouldn't approve. Well, you might.
No, I'm not thinking
So,
not.
in this, are you working as a person in this play? Are you a banker or
Oh,
what's
no.
your position in life?
I need not do that. I have people to do that for me.
Oh, ooh.
Yes, my family comes from a bit of money. Some of it spread out in certain different locations, but I have enough of it that I have people to do the work for me.
And how large is your staff?
Oh, I have a very large amount of people working for me. Yes, indeed. In fact, I have quite a lot of wealth as well. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Sutton?
Oh, yes, quite.
Yes.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet
It's
these
a
two.
funny show. It is. It's just filled with. I encourage people to come out because sometimes this type of getup can be off-putting.
Right.
And a lot of people, the young people don't remember this, but maybe you do. In the 1970s, there was a sitcom called Soap.
Yes.
And it was so funny.
Yes, yes.
And I said, this is the 1770s
Right,
version
right,
of
of Soap.
Soap.
Oh,
It's
Soap.
the same. It's really quite fun.
Great.
If you like watching the Housewives, the reality, whatever that is, TV, well, you're going to enjoy this because it's the 1777 version of that.
It's the original. It's the original reality show.
Absolutely,
They
Paul.
started it.
Yes, we started it. We did.
We did it better.
Oh, we did. Very good, Mr. Sutton.
Yes.
Well, for Nancy and Kyle, I think those are names that sometimes you use. We
occasionally.
appreciate that you came by, and we really encourage everybody to get down to the Snug for the School for Scandal.
Yes.
It's going to be
Correct,
great.
yes.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to have met you too.
Enjoy 1770. Always a
Thanks
pleasure,
for
dear.
having us
See ya.
back.
That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, Paul Dingeman. See you soon.
Tune in again soon for another episode of Focus. Make sure to check CTV out on www.watchctv.org or like us on Facebook.